Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Dominic here, and today we are going to take a look at the latest Game of Thrones Season 7 Trailer 2, and this is going to be a shot-by-shot look at that trailer, so let's get into this, shall we? Firstly, we get this shot of Sansa walking in the Winterfell Godswood, and we have that awesome music from last season playing, you know, at the end where Cersei blows up the Sept in that awesome montage, and we also get a really ominous dub of Littlefinger saying to Sansa, well, what we assume is Sansa because we see her on the screen, don't fight in the north or the south, fight every battle everywhere, always in your minds. Now, Littlefinger cannot be trusted, but he genuinely seems to be giving Sansa some good information here. It's like when he told Ned, look, don't trust me, but Ned didn't listen. Hopefully Sansa doesn't trust Baelish, but she does at least heed him. Now, this shot of the gate opening is the exact same shot that was used when Daenerys had her vision in the House of the Undying that saw her go beyond the wall. Now, I don't know if that is of any significance. In fact, I doubt it, but it was interesting to me at least. Then we see what is clearly Bran and Meera entering Castle Black, and then this shot of Jon and an extra that looks a little like Viggo Mortensen. Wouldn't that be awesome? Jon and Aragorn, come on now. Okay, now we're inside King's Landing, as you can tell, not only by the Lannister drapery, but by the stonework and the architecture, and it all looks like, well, it looks like some soldiers are coming in and parting the crowd, and the crowd seem to be applauding, you know, they look pretty happy with whatever's going on here. Could it be that Cersei's reign has inspired the people? Surely not, right? More likely her scheming has helped vanquish one of the capital's enemies, or maybe these people think that this force is going to storm the city and free them from Cersei's reign. I've been trying to avoid as many leaks as possible, so if the truth behind this scene is clear to some of you, please forgive me. Then we see Queen Cersei in all her glory. You guys know I'm a huge Cersei fan just because she makes such a fantastic three-dimensional villain, and because Lena Headey is superb at bringing her to life. I can't wait to see what she does this season. Next, we see Dany running her fingers along Aegon the Conqueror's war table, and we see here a few of the pieces are knocked down, which more than likely signifies that her war campaign is going well. Cut to what looks like maybe the Iron Islands. I can't be sure, but the weather does look extremely grey and overcast, so that's why I'm making that assumption. Also, we see the small band of seafarers that I'm presuming are the Ironborn. They're either readying a small boat or they've just come ashore. It's hard to tell. Actually, maybe it's Gendry back from rowing his little boat and he's got some friends with him. This next shot, we see Arya, a horse, possibly seeing Winterfell for the first time in a long time, but that's all conjecture at the moment. If you remember, HBO released a reel featuring a bunch of their upcoming shows a while back, and this was actually the only Game of Thrones shot featured in that reel, so it's good to see it again. Next, we have Jaime in full armor, which is always fun to see, and it looks like he's possibly at Casterly Rock, and there's a dead dude on the floor, so this could be after the Unsullied raid, or maybe it's before that. It's hard to tell, but either way, he looks like he means business. Then we have the most Littlefinger shot of all time, and we've seen this one before, so there's not really much to add. It looks like he's possibly in the crypts at Winterfell, and it looks like he knows something that whomever he's spying on doesn't, which is, you know, Baelish. My theory is that Baelish knows the truth about Rhaegar and Lyanna and Jon's true heritage, and that this could be the season that he spills the beans. Next, we have the sharpening of a blade, and I can't quite tell who that is by the hand alone, but for some reason I think that it might be Yara Greyjoy. I would have said Arya, but that doesn't quite look like Needle to me. Then we see Dany walking by what I assume are the hills at Dragonstone, and we see this picturesque landscape with this beautiful eroded sedimentary rock along the mountains. We then see her and Tyrion enter her abandoned birthplace and remove Stannis Baratheon's drapery that hangs on the wall, and in the next shot we see her three dragons heading for the castle, and then a shot of Tyrion looking on from what looks like one of the cliffs of Dragonstone. Now, dubbed over this montage is Jon saying, for centuries our families fought together against their common enemy, and that they're going to need to do the same if they're going to survive. Who is he talking to? Could be Dany, could be a Karstark for all we know. Should be fun to find out. We then have this shot of Theon, and it looks like he's aboard that burning ship that we saw in the last trailer. It then cuts to Grey Worm giving somebody off camera a signal as if to say let's move, or this is it. Now that crag in the rock there, that opening is most likely a secret tunnel into Casterly Rock, and that intel was most likely given to the Unsullied by none other than Tyrion himself, who likely used to play on the shores of the Sunset Sea as a child. I'm guessing that a handful of the Unsullied will use this secret entrance to infiltrate the stronghold and then open the doors from the inside for the rest of the Unsullied to storm the Lannister seat of power. It's going to be so awesome. awesome. Next we see Pod and Brienne having reached Castle Black and seemingly don the robes of the Night's Watch. Could it be that Brienne has become the new Lord Commander of the Watch? Maybe Jon left her in charge as seeing as she's, you know, the best warrior there. Now I know Jon isn't technically in charge of the Watch anymore, but he is kind of in charge of the North. And the way Brienne is standing here, it does seem very authoritative, you know, and stately. She almost seems like Alyssa Thorne. You should be interesting. Then we have this quick shot of the Hound north of the wall, but I'm gonna come back to that one a bit later. We cut to an Unsullied hitting the deck on the field of battle, Dothraki spearmen breaking upon what looks to be a Lannister shield wall, a shot of Yara leaping down onto the deck of her burning ship. It's pretty clear from this trailer and the last really that Euron has caught up with her and Theon and is raining hell down upon them. Next is Jaime with Bronn and what looks to me like Tarly archers knocking arrows to their bows. Now this shot is a money shot because as you can see the crow's eye turns white as if to signify that it's being warged by Bran most likely, but it looks like the Night King is onto him and as always is one step ahead of the competition. We then see Bran in an awesome Doran Martell inspired wheelchair and it looks like he breaks his warg under the supervision of the Maester of Winterfell, which of course means that our boy has made it back home as there he is sitting in the Godswood. Then we get a voiceover of somebody, and I can't for the life of me tell who this is. It says, "It's always been real." That's what the voiceover says. It's always been real. But is that Jon? Is that Baelish? We know it's somebody from the north because of the nebulous northern accent, but my brain can't quite tell me who it is. So if you know, let me know down below. Then we get another awesome money shot of Beric Dondarrion and his flaming sword igniting, which is just so metal. Next we see Euron Greyjoy's fleet approaching King's Landing. Then there's this montage of the Unsullied storming what we all assume is Casterly Rock. The next shot is Dany overlooking the sea at Dragonstone and she seems to take notice of somebody approaching. Next is an amazing montage of Jaime galloping like a madman, lance in hand, across what looks to be a modern day interpretation of Aegon the Conqueror's Field of Fire. We then see an explosion on what I'm assuming to be Yara's ship, Tormund fighting something, possibly a White Walker beyond the wall, the Dothraki horsemen and Drogon taking to battle, a montage of Yara and Theon watching as fire rains upon their ships, what looks like Lannister and Tarly forces preparing for the onslaught of Dothraki and dragons that awaits them. Now this shot here is so awesome. We get Jon Snow, Beric, as you can tell by the flaming sword, and at least two others about to be overwhelmed by whites. Now, I think that the other two on this outcrop of rock are Tormund, who is never too far from Jon's side, and the Hound. Why Sandor is there, I couldn't say, but we did see a shot of him north of the wall earlier in the trailer, and to me it seems like Jon would want to bring the best fighters out there with him. We also know that the Hound met up with Beric again last season. Now, seeing that the odds in this shot look so overwhelming, to me it makes me think that we're going to get some sort of Deus Ex Machina, just as our heroes are about to be overwhelmed. There's no way that they can fight this many whites, so something is going to happen that forces all of the whites to stop in their track or run the other way. I don't know that they would run, but you know, stop at least. I don't know what this could be, who knows, but I see a Deus Ex Machina coming. Then we get a shot of Missandei and Grey Worm sharing an intimate moment, a shot of Tyrion doing his best Tyrion face. Then there's this shot of this person with an obscured face, and I can't quite work out who this is. Is it Sandor? Are you guys finally getting the Clegane bow that you want so badly? Is it Arya, maybe using her Faceless Men's skills, as that sword does look really thin to me. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think down below. Then we see Jon with Davos most likely hatching a plan of sorts. A shot of Jon fighting what looks like the same White Walker that he already defeated at Hardhome, which should be interesting. A great shot of two Dothraki horsemen riding through flames. Then we get this shot of Theon going to his knees by the sea. This is more than likely tied into that shot we saw earlier of the boat by the Iron Islands, although the sky looks a lot clearer here, so maybe not. Maybe this is further south. I'm guessing that this is after Yara's ship was attacked and Theon managed to make it out alive aboard a lifeboat of some sort. Or maybe that could even be Euron standing behind him, forcing him to do something he doesn't want to do. Now, the actor who plays Euron recently came out and said that he will be the most villainous character the show has ever seen, and that by after this season, Ramsay Bolton would seem like a little kid compared to him. Those are some big and terrifying words, and I feel sorry for whomever crosses him. And here we see Euron cutting some somebody down aboard a ship. We then get a great shot of Drogon staring somebody down, and it's most likely Tyrion, and you can tell by the silhouette of the castle behind him that they're at Dragonstone. Then we get this montage of our fellas beyond the wall. We see them all being encircled here, and then Jon riding frantically through the snow before cutting down what looks to me to be a member of another wildling tribe rather than a White. Or, even more interesting, it could be Jon cutting down a member of his own ranging party, as some have theorized that now that Jon has died, he can be controlled by the Night King and could possibly become the Night King's most feared lieutenant. Now that would be cool. Even more ominous is Sansa's voiceover over this montage, which states, "When the snows fall and the white winds blow, the lone wolf dies, but the pack survives." I'll leave it for you guys to theorize what that could all mean in the comments, but yeah, there you have it, a shot by shot look at the latest Game of Thrones trailer. Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to check out the channel for a bunch more Game of Thrones related content. Like, subscribe and all that great stuff, and I'll see you all again soon.